I'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. Tonight is Tuesday, August 13th. This is the regularly scheduled meeting of the Mobridge City Council here at Mobridge City Hall. We'll start with roll call. So Heather, would you call the roll, please?
Mound.
Here.
Landrieu.
Here.
Reichert.
Here.
O'Connell.
Here.
Yellowboy.
Yep.
Carlson.
Here.
All right, next up, we'll have Pledge of Allegiance. I'll ask Councilman Randy to lead us.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next up, we'll adopt the agenda. So if there are no additions or corrections to the agenda, I will look for a motion to adopt the current agenda. So moved.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Reichert.
Yes.
Landrieu.
Yes.
O'Connell.
Yes.
Yellowboy.
Yep.
Carlson.
Yes.
Mound.
Yes.
Okay, in your packet, you've got the minutes from the July 10th regular meeting. If you've all had a chance to go through those. If there's no additions or corrections to those minutes, I would look for a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Reichert.
Yes.
O'Connell.
Yes.
Yellowboy.
Yep.
Carlson.
Yes.
Mound.
Abstain.
Landrieu.
Abstain.
Okay, we'll move into public forum and visitors. We have a couple of things, but if there's anyone else here who wishes to speak, when we get done, this would be the time. So I guess up first, we have Toby Morris with Doherty and Company. So, Toby, are you there?
I am. Thanks, Mayor.
Okay, it's your turn.
Okay. I apologize about not being able to make it there tonight. Explain to Heather I don't necessarily have the best communication sometimes with my ex-wife, so we'll just leave it at that. Hopefully, if Katie's in the crowd, she doesn't put that in the paper. But I just wanted to talk to you a little bit tonight on the 2014 debt issuance that was for the pool back then. We've come in a period of time of low interest rates, a lot of volatility in the market. The bad news about the stock crash 2 weeks ago with the 401k is actually good news for bond rates because they have really dropped even more. So what we did is we put together a resolution, and by no means, Mayor, members of the council, does this obligate you to do this. Rather, it's my job to keep you on offense so that we can time the market to make sure that there's a savings net available. So what we do is we put everything together, get it ready to go, keep in close communication with Heather and say, hey, this is where we see the market going one way or the other. And if the savings make sense, we can move quickly to take advantage of those savings. If we were to, let's just say, refinance today, just as a quick update, your savings would be about $300,000 to $350,000. So we're talking a substantial amount of money. But I really have to caution the council because of the volatility in the market. That's a very fluid number. And so what we're doing is just getting everything prepared, asking for permission to move forward. And should those savings disappear because of market volatility, there's no cost incurred to the city whatsoever, but rather haven't been the advisor to the city in the past debt issuance. We just see it as to keep you in the offense position so that we can move quickly at that time to make sure that we can take advantage of any market movement. You probably have a graph that's in front of you that looks like an EKG readout, that something I sent up to Heather. You can see we're in a very low period of rates at this time. Even when we issued in 2014, the average interest rate on that debt outstanding right now is extremely low. It's at about just right at 3%. So what we would do is to only improve that. If there's no savings, obviously we don't move forward with it. We're just trying to get those savings, approve upon it. But like I said, if it doesn't work, your existing debt, nothing happens with that. You still are locked into that interest rate out until 2029. Maybe I'll leave it open for questions at this point, Mayor.
I guess my question is, you said right now if we, I'm going to use the word refinance, that you're looking at 3 to 350,000. Now, that's over the course till the end of the bond, right?
That is correct. That would be anywhere from, say, 35 to 40,000 a year. That would be a reduction in debt service.
Okay. And maybe would that be would you see a reflection on property taxes with that?
On that, because you passed the opt-out to pass that, I think you've also might have subsidized a little bit with sales tax. So yes, you could either reduce what that levy is, for sure, because your debt service is going down. Because when you passed it, at that time, it's just really a moral obligation that if you wanted to implement the tax levy, which I believe you have, or if you wanted to take some of your general fund, it gave you that flexibility. But by all means, it's going to be a definite reduction in your debt service.
Okay. Any other questions, comments? Okay. So you're just kind of asking for a blank resolution to, when you see fit, go ahead and reissue or refinance?
The resolution in front of you allows for that. I think I might strengthen the word by blank by saying it'll be a constant communication with yourself.
Okay.
It takes some time to put all the information together to get it ready to go to market. You still have your 20 days of publication from when this resolution is passed, and then at that time we figure out a schedule to see when it would make sense and what we're seeing in the market.
Okay.
Is the opportunity for this reduction, is that within like a few hours, or is that dependent on the day? Or is this like open for a week?
Well, your rates, I don't want to say are so volatile that they're going to fluctuate 1 or 2%, but it may be you may drop like 350 to 330,000 in savings. What we do is we keep you informed, and we might say like on a Wednesday, Thursday, hey, this is looking right to go out into the market on Monday. And then when we sell it, what's really critical for us and for you is we work with the local banks because they might want to buy a piece of it. So we talk to, the Dakota banks, the Great Westerns, the Relia banks within the region because they're familiar with the debt. They know that, they've got solid leadership up there and there's not a credit concern with it. And then we move out more on a regional approach as we sell it to investors on that. And that takes us a couple days because, we're looking at about roughly 5 million, I think that's outstanding. I'm looking for my paperwork. No, not that much. I'm sorry.
I thought it was 4 million.
Yeah. Too many numbers in my head today, but that's what we would look at from that basis.
Because if I understand it right now, I think we're obligated to $200,000 a year for the 4 million, which would be $200,000 over the course of 20 years.
Correct.
So would that be? So with the savings you're projecting, basically, I mean, I'm not sure if I'm asking these questions right, but are we looking at knocking a few years off the end, or are we looking at knocking down the yearly obligation?
We can look at both scenarios on that. Sometimes it makes more sense to get the debt paid off sooner so the levy is not in place. That seems to be more of a favorable approach. We always start out with apples to apples, seeing what we can get. And so if there's that, that 2 to 250,000 that way, but can we reduce it 1 or 2 years? And those are some scenarios I can send up to Heather once we pick it apart further and really dive into the structure of it.
Okay. Any other questions? I guess if there's no more questions and everybody feels comfortable with Toby, I would look for a motion to approve Resolution 1905.
So moved.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
O'Connell.
Yes.
Yellowboy.
Yep.
Carlson.
Yes.
Mound. Yes. Landrieu.
Yes.
Reichert.
Yes.
Okay, sounds like the resolution passed.
Well, thank you, Mayor and Heather, and I will be sending up some information and start keep the flow of communication going.
Okay, thanks, Toby.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Heather. Bye.
Okay, up next, we're gonna do a little bit of pool employee recognition. Just got a little write-up here. It says, "I'm happy to take a few minutes to recognize a group of city workers that we are so proud of. On July 22nd, a Mobridge youth was injured when he slipped from a diving board and fell to the concrete below. The lifeguards and pool staff working that afternoon immediately went into action, bringing the young man assistance and comfort while coordinating medical services. I want to recognize them individually and thank them not only for the time they have put into training and drilling, but their daily efforts in keeping everyone safe at our pool." Those individuals, there's 6 of them. There's Connor Untershear, Darcy Kelly, Caitlin Claymore, Jenny Kraus, Sarah Cox, and Rachel Goldsmith. I also want to mention that there were 2 good Samaritans who also assisted the pool staff in this incident, Tarina Wessel and another individual visiting from out of state. I wish to express my appreciation for the folks like this that find ways to do good in our world every day. So, I believe you guys are right there. Do you want to come up here, or you want me to go back there? All right. Probably get your picture taken or something. I'll get these first. Did Jenny not make it? No, Jenny?
Why don't you guys move back here so we can get you by the flag? Make sure all the rest of these guys move. Get it all on tape. That one moves this way. Okay. Thank you very much.
And we hope to see you guys all back next year. Jesse, looks like you're up.
You're the man of the hour.
Yeah, watch out, right? We're not talking insurance either.
Not
I'll
yet.
introduce myself quick. Jesse Conal, I'm here on behalf of the Mobridge Rodeo Foundation tonight. In your packet is a proposal that we're looking at. It's kind of ironic, about 9 years ago at this time, I was talking about just that sign for the 3B committee to put it up there and with permission. Now, between the 3B committee, tourism committee, and the Rodeo Foundation, we're looking to spruce it up, go with the changing ways and get our message out of how great Mobridge is. So with that being said, in front of you is kind of the design that we've looked at. As you can see, it still has the topper of the Sitting Bull Stampede, still has some placards down below that will be stationary, but we are looking on each side of that sign of adding a 5x9, so about this high by 12 foot, which is about 2 lengths of this, if you can visualize that, a Daktronic sign on each side, electric reader board. The beautiful part of it is that it'll be maintained at the chamber office, show what the events are going on. It's just if you drive through town, you can tell who has reader boards and who's paying attention versus way of what's going on in town. So my ask tonight, the reason I'm here, is the old 3B sign. Prior to the new city lights that were put up on the street department, we had power running there for the lights that were shooting from the ground up to light that board. And I missed the ball on making sure that we had power going there after the new street lights were put up. Now, in visiting, it sounds like that we can run power off of the city street light. We visited with an electrician in town. The tourism committee or 3B committee or the foundation will cover that cost. What we're asking tonight is to see if we can tap into that power from the street light to the new board. Estimate cost of running that board per day is be $40 to $60 a month is what they figure electricity is going to cost running that. But before we move forward and trying our planning and everything, we wanted to see if that would be okay from you all. So Any questions?
When you say they're gonna pay for the, installation of we give the okay for the lighting, okay, do you know what the cost is gonna be for that whole thing?
Our rough estimate's $500, because we'll have to trench it in underground and get it hooked up there.
Okay. I don't think there's gonna be a problem, is there? I mean, did you talk to the electrical guys about doing that?
Yes, well, I haven't talked, the only person I visited about this was Heather in regards to hooking up to the power. We have another committee member that's visited with some electricians in town. They don't foresee a problem tying into that city street light.
And the $40 a month, that'll be coming for you guys?
That would be coming from the city with your generous donation, Tony.
Oh, my God.
'Cause there's no way to portion that out, so it would just be the city covering the cost of it.
Yeah, we wouldn't be able to figure out how to put a meter on it. The only other way was thinking about trenching it from the rodeo grounds all the way across and metering it that way, but it's just a lot quicker and more convenient running it off of the city lights.
When you say running across the rodeo grounds, you're talking about,
Parking lot.
coming right through where the, carnival is, coming through there?
Correct.
Say?
Yeah.
Okay, does the carnival have electricity to run their stuff?
They do have electricity. There's power ran to the south side of that area that they run a cord somehow. They have power there.
Okay. So if you put this in, would you be able to, trench another power box there to hook into their stuff?
I don't know. That's a good question. I'm sure it's a possibility. That would be a rodeo association conversation. Then it gets convoluted, but it's a good question. We could definitely ask that.
So you're looking for approval for this then? Just the trenching and?
Just the ability, we'll foot the cost to attach to the city lights
just
to
want
get
the
power
power.
there. We just need the power.
State's all right with everything too?
Yeah, DOT, since it's already there, we're good to go. They do have, it's interesting, you can only switch that 7 seconds. They don't want that flashing, which makes sense. So other than that, there's really no restrictions. We already have the license and permit to do it.
I'll make the motion, if there's no other.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Call the roll, please.
Yellow Boy,
Yep.
Carlson.
Yes.
Mound.
Yes.
Landrieu.
Yes.
Reichert.
Yes.
O'Connell.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks,
you.
Jesse.
Keep up the good work, young man.
Is there anyone else in public forum, visitors wishes to address the council? All right, hearing none, I will move us right on into the department head reports. In your packets, the building permits from Dwayne Martin. Looks like there's 15 of them, and total estimated construction cost of just over $300,000. If you got any questions, you probably talk to Dwayne about that. If not, the building permits. So I guess that'll take us into the police department. So, Sean?
Good evening. I just had one thing for the council tonight. Ask the council to approve hiring a part-time police officer, Aaron Bogle, at $20.13 an hour.
Do we need an effective date on that? Okay. If there's no questions, I'd look for a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Carlson.
Yes.
Mound.
Yes.
Landrieu.
Yes.
Reichert.
Yes.
O'Connell.
Yes.
Yellow Boy.
Yep.
That is it.
Okay. Thanks, Sean.
Thank you, Sean.
Thank you.
Looks like we have no unfinished business, so I'll just take us right into new business. First up in new business, we have a public hearing and approval of a temporary liquor license. In your packet, it's Polly's Pub. He's looking like he wants to have an event on August 31st, which is Saturday. I guess if there's anyone here to speak for or against. Jeff, was that?
I don't care what you do with the beverage license. Can't find the right word.
I'm Jeff Pyatt, owner of Riverside Home Furnishings, and I don't have a problem with the application for the liquor license. We do have a problem with when that street gets closed down. because it affects our business hours. So we close at 4:30 on Saturday, and I don't know what time he's planning on having the dance or setting up or anything like that, so that was my only concern.
Okay, now in the packet, it says he's looking at blocking Second Street west from Main Street to the west.
No, he's not gonna block Main Street
So I
this
don't
year.
think he'll be on,
He's not blocking Main Street?
so I don't, he's
He's
not gonna
moving
be
it
on
off
Main
to the
Street.
side.
Just on a side street.
Really?
Yes, yep.
Sorry.
Oh,
No problem.
That's all I needed.
Yeah.
oh, okay,
Thank you.
Correct.
okay.
There,
Thanks, Jeff.
there's, what'd you
What's
say
the
the date
date?
was?
August 31st. He originally was gonna have it that date, and then he
later, Jeff.
changed it, and I didn't
Okay.
get it changed in the packet. Should be a Saturday.
Any other questions, comments? Hearing none, I'd look for a motion to approve.
So moved. Second.
Call the roll, please.
Carlson,
Yes.
Yellow Boy,
Yep.
O'Connell.
Yes.
Reichert,
Yes.
Landrieu.
Yes.
Mound.
Yes.
Okay, up next, we have approved pay request number 4 for the airport runway project. Looks like the amount's $535,810.07. Todd, the engineer, is here, if anyone has any questions.
How we doing on time?
I would estimate they're about 2 weeks behind. I could get this recent rain, they're kind of on hold, they are working today, but, not that productive of work.
Sorry, Todd, I should've caught you quicker.
That's okay. In general, on the schedule, you know, as you know, it's been a fairly rainy summer, and each one of those rains is not just the rain day, but the rework and the restabilization, drying of the subgrade, that kind of thing that they've been held back on. So I would estimate that they're about 2 weeks behind their original schedule. Before this week's rain, they were planning on being done, I think, the week after Labor Day. But now this will probably push them back another week. So they're out there fixing soft spots again today because of the rain, softened it, the grade. The dirt grading is actually done, but they're struggling with the salvage subgrade, and they're putting on the new subgrade gravel. So they hope to get back to that activity tomorrow, but it'll depend on how dry it is when they start putting the truckloads on that runway again. If they start excessively rutting, they'll put a hold to it, so until it dries some more. As far as I know, that's about it. This is pay request number 4. Like Gene said, $535,810.07. Brings the total to about a third. Of course, the big money's on the paving, so that's down the road yet. Any other questions?
Nope. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, if there's no more questions, I'd look for a motion to approve pay request number 4.
So moved.
Call the roll, please, or do we have a second?
Second?
Okay, call the roll, please.
Yellow Boy,
Yep.
O'Connell.
Yes.
Reichert,
Yes.
Landrieu.
Yes.
Mound.
Yes.
Carlson.
Yes.
Okay, up next, you have one cemetery deed, looks like. That's in your packet, so if everybody's okay with transferring the cemetery deed, I'd look for a motion to approve the transfer.
So moved.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
O'Connell.
Yes.
Reichert,
Yes.
Landrieu.
Yes.
Mound.
Yes.
Carlson.
Yes.
Yellow Boy.
Yep.
Okay, up next in your packet, we have the lease agreement with the chamber for the office and sure how. Do we have any additions to this, or are we just redoing? It looks like a fairly old one.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Christine and I talked about it. We think it works really well. We can keep the Sure How open with mural tours and all that. I wouldn't have any changes unless the chamber does.
Any questions or comments from the council? Okay, hearing none, I'd look for a motion.
Wait, hang
Oh,
on just a
hold on. Sorry, Tony.
I'm taking my coffee, too bad.
Oh.
Say, we had when we had a meeting with the hospital, they wanted to lower the rates for using that Shell Arena. Where did that go? When you guys had your meeting, you guys have a meeting?
We haven't had a follow-up committee meeting yet
No,
to make
we did
any
meet with them and get their
determinations or research.
opinions on the current costs and like the deposit required and such. But we, like, there's been some life events that have gotten in the way of follow-up meeting.
To be determined.
Okay, that's what I was just wondering, because I didn't hear anything, so I was just wondering what happened to it.
And we did discuss the chamber lease a little bit at that meeting, but the general consensus there was it's working for both parties. It's, making that building accessible during the day to the public, which is, what's the point of having those beautiful murals if nobody can see them? So I think it's working well for both sides, so I would make a motion to renew the lease.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion.
Second.
Second. Call the roll, please.
Reichert,
Yes.
Landrieu,
Yes.
Mound,
Yes.
Carlson.
Yes.
Yellow Boy,
Yep.
O'Connell.
Yes.
Up next, we have approved a step increase for Boyd Nas, increasing his hourly wage from $22.86 to $23.12, effective August 5th, 2019. Boyd's our water plant manager, so if there's no questions, I would ask for a motion to approve that.
So moved.
Second.
Landrieu,
Yes.
Mound,
Yes.
Carlson.
Yes.
Yellow Boy,
Yep.
O'Connell.
Yes.
Reichert.
Yes.
Okay, last item under new business, we have approved, excuse me, we have approved members to the fire department. Looks like we have Chris Mossett, Mitch Voller, and Steve Schneider. I'm guessing they got applications, turned in applications,
2 of them.
2 of them? Okay. I guess I would,
Which ones didn't?
They're in my office. I can go grab them. Steve, I don't think has.
I guess we could approve the,
I'm sure
Oh.
they're filled out, just sitting on somebody's desk.
just say we can approve the 2 that are here and then approve the 3rd one pending.
I'll make a motion to approve all 3 to be added to the fire department roster.
Have a motion? Do we have a second?
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Mound,
Yes.
Carlson,
No.
Yellow Boy,
Nope.
O'Connell.
Waiting on applications, no.
Reichert,
Yes.
Landrieu,
No.
failed.
Okay, so Jade's motion was just to approve them all as is. Okay. I guess I would look for a motion to approve the 2 and then approve the 3rd pending submission of the application.
So moved.
Second.
Do we know who these we're approving for sure?
Yeah, I can go grab off the desk.
Okay, it looks like we have Mitch Vollers and Chris Mossett's right here. So we would be approving Chris and Mitch today, Steve pending turning in the application.
Okay, I have a motion.
I guess I don't really think that that's fair considering we approved 3 firefighters previously without having applications on file at the time, so what's,
And then they did drop them off, so.
Right.
So everyone's had an application.
afterwards, yes.
And I guess I got brought to my attention by several people that those 3 did not turn them in, but they did turn them in, so.
I'm just wondering what the
So
difference,
that would-
what's the difference in the situation?
So you need a motion or what?
We have a motion and a second on the table to approve Chris and
Jay
Mitch.
just had a question as to why we didn't approve all 3.
Well, it kinda seems that time that they didn't know they had to turn in an application out. They thought they was automatically on the fire department. That's why they didn't turn one in at that time, but they did the next day.
That was after everybody was very clear that they were not on the fire department, so.
But I mean, point is, Steve drops it off tomorrow. He's on the fire department tomorrow. Because I'm guessing there's one out, because I believe there was 3 of them that left, and then 3 individuals, so.
So, and I just feel like we're applying different rules. It's my personal opinion.
Okay. Well, if we have a motion, a second, I would look for the roll call.
Okay. Carlson?
Yes.
Yellow Boy?
Yep.
O'Connell?
Yes.
Reichert?
No.
Landrieu?
Yes.
Mound?
No,
Okay, motion carried.
Okay. Okay, so we approved 2, we'll wait on the 3rd. Discussion information items. First up in your packet is the memorial tree proposal. I'll let Christine talk about that.
You bet. This is a program where we can encourage more trees at the Mobridge and Greenwood cemeteries. Working with the state arborist, John Livermore, who had been here in the past, helping us with some different soil samples and species suitability that would do well. We do have some tough conditions out here on the prairie. There are a couple trees to start with, bur oak and the crab apple. So this would give folks that are looking to purchase a memorial tree and have it planted at the cemetery an option to purchase that. There is an optional plaque that could be added for an additional price. It would depend on the wording, how many letters they would want added to the engraving of the plaque, or they don't need to add the plaque. We would do the plantings in fall. The park department would be in charge of doing that, and then also bring in a drip line from the sprinkler to keep the tree happy in times of little rain. So proposing a $200 per tree memorial fee for that.
Question on this.
Mhm.
Wouldn't crab apples, you have apples?
Yep,
You're gonna have
yep.
a mess all the time under those trees, because
Okay.
they're gonna be falling all the time.
Mhm.
I'm not in favor of crab apples. in
Okay,
I
we
an
would
could,
area that we're trying to keep up, and we have enough trouble keeping it up
okay,
as it
we
is.
could start with
So
the bur oak.
crab apples are
Right,
definitely no.
I would agree with that as well.
Okay, we could start with the bur oak.
I would,
Where are these gonna be planted at? I mean, to me,
They
it's
would
kinda
go
like-
around the perimeter
Cool.
of the cemeteries to add some
still a mess.
attractive appearance. It would not be within around the headstones.
Looking out for you, man.
Not around the gravesite.
They wouldn't be on the site. It becomes difficult to mow and take care of things that are within, so this would be around the perimeters.
And they'd be terrible to mow over. You'd have to pick up all the apples before you mow, or you'd have a
Yeah,
mess.
yeah, like I said, I was kind of
It's
going
just
for
a-
some species diversity that he had recommended, so,
Agreed in some areas.
okay.
Any more commentary? Okay, the other 2 items, we have our annual board retreat coming up August 19th. That's a Monday, 3 PM here at City Hall. And then on August 27th, that is a Tuesday, we will have a special council meeting. Time to be determined, I guess.
5:30.
5:30, okay.
27th, 5:30. Normally scheduled time.
Okay, after that, we'll have payment of the bills. All the bills are in your packet. Looks like there's a big the big pay change order. Looks like we're paying $921,053.44. So, if you had a chance to look at those, I'll call for a motion to pay the bills.
So moved.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Landrieu,
Yes.
Reichert,
Yes.
O'Connell.
Yes.
Yellowboy,
Yep.
Carlson.
Yes.
Mound.
Yes.
Okay, and if we have no other business, I would look for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Reichert,
Yes.
O'Connell.
Yes.
Yellowboy.
Yep.
Carlson.
Yes.
Mound.
Yes.
Landrieu.
Yes.
All right, meeting adjourned.